going on, boys and girls? Dinner tonight. Honestly, don't even know what the hell to call it. It's just, it was just an idea that I've been thinking about for a while. I figured I'm gonna make it happen. So, I don't know. Best way to explain it is maybe almost like a Boudin. You know, sausage, rice, that kind of stuff. Except I'm going to do it with a mushroom and saffron pilaf that we're gonna whip up. And then we are going to stuff that inside of a chicken thigh. And we're gonna toss them out on the grill. So, I don't know what the hell to call it, but it sounds like it's gonna be good. And it's just something that I've been wanting to try. So, first off, we are going to put together our mushroom and saffron pilaf. So, I will do some time lapse. You know, try to cut down the stuff, but I'm trying to, you know, give the whole recipe as opposed to just being like, hey, here's my pilaf I already made. Let's stuff this chicken breast, you know? So that way, if you wanted to try the recipe, you have the whole experience. So, like I said, it may not work, but it sounds like it will. It sounds good. So let's do this. So what we're gonna do, what I'm using, you can use whatever mushrooms you want, but I love oyster mushrooms. I think they are just fantastic. They are delicious. So I'm just gonna take a few oysters and we are just going to, any of the funkiness on the bottom of the stems, I just trim those off. And by the way, later we are going to, I know I've done a lot of briskets on my channel, but mostly they are for just trying stuff, doing a recipe, whatever. And I do mine a certain way. Really, it's one of my wife's favorite things. I've said it before. I could live without it, honestly. I mean, I know, yeah, barbecue, things like that, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. If it's done right, I enjoy it. So I'm gonna be prepping that tonight because I'm gonna toss one of those on about 2 o'clock in the morning. So that'll be coming up later. So, all right, we're not gonna need much rice, so I'm just gonna rough chop these. Want some decent chunks, but you gotta know, you know, mushrooms shrink down. So we got our oysters here. Just a rough chop up. Let's take an onion. I'm gonna do about a half an onion. Peel the skin off of here. The rest of this stuff I will do, like I said, some time lapse, but I figured I would at least kind of explain a little bit on what I got going on here. So we're going to fine dice this guy right here. And there's our onion. Oh, a couple of large parts there I messed up. Now we are going to take a towel, just a trusty old kitchen towel. We're gonna layer out like so. We're gonna take, you don't want much noodles because it'll suck moisture. These are vermicelli. So we're gonna take that much. We're gonna throw this right in the middle of our towel here and we're gonna roll them up just like so. You pull my board to the edge. We're gonna take these guys, pull down, just like so. So now what we got is evenly broken pastas. So let's get our rice going. All right, so I got 3 tablespoons unsalted butter here. Got her nice brown. Brown butter's got a beautiful, nutty, tons of flavor. Especially for rice. It adds such a nice flavor. We're going to toss these guys in here. Our mushrooms and our onions. Like so. And now that them are in there, see if I can, there you go. So I'm just going to give these a toss just to soak up some of that. All right, so I'm just going to cook these down, get the onions nice and translucent, sweat some of that moisture out of the onion, out of the mushrooms, and then we'll go on. All right. Looking good, looking good. So now, toss rice. I'm using medium grain just because it's just, I just like it better than long grain. It's essentially sushi rice. So we're gonna toss that in there. Gives it, especially when I'm using it for filling, it, you know, has its own, it holds together so well, you know? So we're gonna toss our rice in there, and we're going to toss our vermicelli in there. With rice, always do 1 to 2, you know, 1 part rice, 2 part water. That's what I always do anyway. So now we're going to toss these in. I'm going to keep some heat on them and keep an eye on it. Now, when I add my stock, you should almost be able to smell like popcorn. You know, once that rice gets nice and brown and that all that butter and things like that, it'll start smelling like popcorn. And that's what you're looking for. Then you know it's time. All right. Got that smell coming out. We're gonna add our stock. Like that. And now, we're gonna add our saffron thread. Let that steep in that stock for a little bit. So we're gonna toss a pinch of our saffron in there. Just let it lay on top, don't mix it up. And just let it steep into that stock. Let it pull that flavor, that nice floral notes, all that good stuff saffron does. Just let it do its thing for a minute. Okay, so it's in there. We got a nice boil going. I'm just gonna bring this heat down to just like a low. And cover it. So what that's gonna do there, we're just gonna bring it down, let that rice cook, let all that good stuff just come together in there. And you'll notice I didn't salt it. I never salt rice until it's finished. So toss a little bit of salt in there. You can also use salted butter. Then you don't have to add any salt. It's actually perfect, especially with 3 tablespoons. Seems to work out pretty good. But the stock, you know, that has sodium in it too. So doesn't need much, but everything needs salt and pepper, man. Gotta season, always season. So I'm gonna let that go for a little bit. And in the meantime, we're gonna get the rest of our stuff ready. All right, so we got our chicken thighs here. Nothing crazy, nothing big. We're gonna debone them. So I'll do one here. I'm sure you guys have seen this a million times. Start with the back of the bone. Just make a cut along each side of it here. Come up from the bottom, make a cut, and then I just come down the edges. That way I can take the meat off the bone and leave as much meat as possible on the bread, on the thigh itself. And when we get down to the bottom here, cut that out like that, and there's always this piece of cartilage. Lose that. Nobody wants to eat it. Feel around, make sure you got it all. We're good to go. All right, bang out the rest. All right, so we got our breasts, our thighs, my bad. I got them laid out. Now, I just want to make sure they're even. So I have them skin side down, and I am going to just lightly pull the tenderizer off, just lightly mash them. I just need to get them, I want to make sure that they're even. So I'm using parchment, so it helps me with my evenness a little bit. Feel a high spot. That way we're working with even all the way around. So just cook better. Give us more surface area for our stuffing, etc. Just like that. Look at that, boys and girls. Woohoo! Nice. So, all right, let's get our rice. All right, so this is just a fresh, like salsiccia, however you pronounce it, Italian sausage. It's not sweet, it's not too hot, it's just awesome. Awesome sausage, man. So we got some of that. It's about, just short of a half pound. Probably actually a little bit less than that. And my pan might still be a little hot. So here, oh man, look at that. Check this out, guys. Look at that. That is textbook pilaf right there, man. Damn. Looks awesome. Smells good. Let's season it, shall we? A little salt. A little cracked pepper. Give her a good mix. Man, beautiful. And as always, let's try it. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, right in the bowl with the sausage. And I'm just going to fold it all in there. I'm out of nitrils, otherwise I would put an insulate and a nitrile on and do it like that, but since I'm out, we're gonna do it just like this, guys. Yes, the sausage is raw, but you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. We are not going to stuff full raw sausage into our chicken thighs because the thighs will be done before the sausage is done. So, plus we don't want all that grease in there. Oh man, look at that. All right, just gonna get her incorporated a little bit here. Now, we're gonna meld all them flavors together, toss it in the skillet just for a minute. All right, so we got a skillet here, heat it up. I'm not gonna do this all the way. We don't need to cook the sausage all the way, but I wanna par cook it. Plus, I want that flavor to kind of just bleed into that rice and vice versa, and just everything just kind of come together. Now I wanted to mention, yes, the rice was fresh, hot out of the pan when I mixed it with the sausage. Now that was intentional. I don't want to cool the rice down because it loses that moisture. The warm rice actually started to break down some of the fats in that sausage. And see how glistening it is? That's that moisture, you know? That heat actually helped that. That's a thought anyway. Makes sense, right? All right, so I'm just gonna cook this down just a little bit and then we'll get stuffing. All right, see how we got it? Just grayed out. See, just gray. Not cooked through, just gray. See how nicely that rice has all come together with all the sausage? Here, better representation right here. See, just gray. So, that's it. We're gonna kill it. I'm gonna pull it. I'm just gonna let that cool just for a few minutes because it's gonna be hot as hell. So, and then in the meantime, we'll get our chicken breasts, little roll station. I'll lay down some parchment paper, and I don't know. I'm gonna do one because honestly, I don't even know how the hell I'm gonna do it. So I'll do one, and then I'll bring you back. All right, so put the rice in a bowl. Yes, we need some type of binder, but we're gonna use the best binder that there is. Cheese, boys and girls. This is just a mix of Monterey for that creaminess. It'll really help hold them together, and some Gruyere just to give it a little, just a little funk, you know? Get the disco going in there. So this has cooled down a little bit. It's been about 10 minutes. Still a little bit warm, so it's gonna help melt that cheese, which is gonna help us bind everything. So I'm gonna throw that in there. I don't know, what's that? 3/4 of a cup, something like that. That's what we're gonna call it. And just mix it in, let it all tie up. It'll help hold things together. Let that break down, do its thing. Not to mention, it's gonna be delicious. Because it's cheese. All right, like I said, I'm gonna give one a shot. Figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this, and then I'll bring you back. All right, so check it out. Look at that beautiful little package of yumminess. All right, so this is what I did here. So we took our thigh, narrow end towards me. All right, now. And by the way, yes, I washed my hands, so you food police, go find something else to do. What I'm gonna do, lightly, we're gonna hit it with some Amplify. Now, if you don't have Amplify, you could just use salt. Very little, the stuff works. And if you don't have salt, you can hit it with that 5/5 taste, man. And by 5th taste, I'm talking MSG. Yeah, I know. Read up on it, educate yourself. MSG, you know, is a lot of that, the glutamate actually is natural in tomatoes and a lot of other things. So don't believe the hype when it comes completely to MSG. I'm not saying sprinkle that shit on everything, but anyway, we're gonna have a long talk about MSG during the brisket video. But anyway, a little bit of umami, that 5th taste, some Amplify, like I said, some MSG, accent, whatever, or just a little bit of salt. Just a little seasoning in there, you know? And then we are gonna take, look at all that. Ooh, cheese, the natural binder. We're just gonna throw a nice chunk in there. We're gonna bring it up, keep her nice and tight, pack those edges a little bit. And then we are just going to roll it over like so. Now the rice is kind of acting like a glue right now. So then we're just gonna take a little butcher twine. We're gonna put 2 of them right here together so we ain't gotta mess around. I'm gonna go seam side down, and we are going to just tie this off. We'll do a nice butcher knot here. 2 wraps. Alexa, dismiss. Alexa, dismiss. Robot don't listen. And we're gonna cinch her up like that. Same thing over here. I'm in about 3/4 of an inch from the edge. Right about where the thin end of that thigh should be. So it should hold quite well. Just like that, guys. Oh, get some sharp shears. My God. I don't know what happened to my good scissors. These are my bone shears, so. All right. And just like that, put it on your pan. So I'm gonna bang the rest of these out, then we'll dust them with some rub, go let that grow. All right, so we got our rolls. Oh, look mighty fine. Ow. Yes, I know. I usually always make my rubs, but honestly, I just haven't been. Just been lazy. So I'm just gonna dust these guys lightly with a little bit of red, hardcore red. Both sides, of course, all the way around it. Oh. Just like that. It's good stuff, guys. Do. Now we're just going for pretty here, you know what I mean? Make sure we get that color all the way around it. All right, guys, just like that. Check it out. Boom. All right, let's go fire up the smoke fire. All right, guys. So we're gonna fire this guy up. Hey, man, I'm thinking, I don't know, 275. You know what? Fuck it. 325. They're thin. They're thighs. They ain't gonna do a whole lot. Smoke fire pumps out smoke, no matter what temperature you got this guy going. So we're gonna go 325. You want those things to set up quickly. I'm burning B&B Championship blend in here. That's about it. So let's get this thing going. Let's get our thighs on there. All right, guys. So I came to the realization, I don't know why the hell I'm throwing these things that low. I'm just gonna grill them off because I ain't got time for all that. We want to eat. So I actually fired her up to 450. Bumped the temp up. Let's do this. Oh man, look at that. Smoke fire needs some love, man. I've been neglecting all my toys. Life, man. All right, let's toss these guys on. I'm gonna throw these right over that center flavorizer bar. Let it do its thing. Seam side down, of course. We're gonna lock that bitch in there. Just like so. All right, so I'm gonna let them roll. Keep flipping, keep rolling, and I don't know. Gonna be kind of hard to probe them because they're thick, but you know, we'll take them to around 170. So, what's up, guys? Look at this. So I just did a little side probe into the thigh itself. We're ready to go. Check these out. Check this out. I lost a little bit of rice out of one of them. Look at that little crunchiness on there. Oh man, it's so good. Oh man, oh man. That's any indication on what's to come. I'm super excited, guys. Check this out. Look at that. Come on. Come on. It's awesome. Let's do it like this, shall we? Very careful not to lose any more of that rice out of the edges. Packed in there pretty good, but we want to save whatever we can, you know what I mean? Give a little squeeze on that edge on this one. That one looks like she's ready to pop. Look at that. All right, take this with me. Oh, throw it around a little bit. All right, so let me kill this guy. All right, let's go in. All right, let's just see what's up, all right? So I'm just gonna take this edge right off of this guy. Oh, man. We got a fork. So you can see, man, look how juicy the thigh is. Look at that. Come on. Let's see what we made, shall we? Wow. Straight up couldn't have planned it any better. It's exactly what I was thinking. And they're fantastic. So, I know there's a little bit of prep work involved. Way worth it, man. Way worth it. Give them a shot. So, all right, guys. That's it. That's all I got.